A tense arrest in Hermantown Wednesday evening is highlighting a growing concern for law enforcement. Untraceable firearms, also known as ghost guns.
Police say a 20-year-old man with active warrants resisted arrest outside a local retail store. Officers say they searched and found he allegedly had one of those ghost guns. In this case, it was a handgun with no serial number.
Northern News Now's Kyrie Johnson has more on the next steps for new legislation that would ban making, selling, or even possessing those weapons in Minnesota. Kyrie?
Minnesota's Attorney General Keith Ellison is backing a new bill aimed at banning so-called ghost guns, firearms built at home or from kits sold online, often without serial numbers. It's a move that's drawing strong attention from both supporters and opponents. To jumpstart the legislation, Ellison cited data showing Minnesota ghost gun traces jumped from 187 in 2021 to 631 2 years later.
Across the country, we've seen a real growth in the presence of these ghost guns. And 3D printing technology has just become so much more common, so much more accessible, and is now being used to create guns.
Federal rules tightened in 2022, but a state Supreme Court ruling last year said unserialized guns aren't necessarily illegal unless federal law explicitly bans them.
There's been a court decision here in Minnesota that essentially undermined the state's existing law related to firearm serialization and limited law enforcement's ability to crack down on ghost guns.
The bill would ban possession of unserialized guns, require serial numbers before unlicensed builds are finished, cap home builds, and restrict 3D printed guns and shared design files. Supporters call it closing a loophole. Opponents say it's expanded gun control.
They're highly progressive pipe dreams that don't keep our communities safe, but rather put our communities in danger, all while disarming law-abiding citizens. It's a really terrible recipe for a really dangerous situation.
Both the NRA and Minnesota Gun Owners Caucus testified against the bill, arguing federal law already addresses the issue.
Going after law-abiding citizens is no way going to stop the rampant crime problems in Minnesota cities.
This type of law has been enacted in 15 other states so far, but the NRA says if the legislation is passed, they will be taking it to court. In studio, Kyrie Johnson, Northern News Now.
Kyrie, thank you. Now, Governor Tim Walz has made the bill a priority this session, and after Monday's committee vote, it could reach the full Senate soon. But in the tight House, it's expected to stall in public safety, where Republicans have opposed similar measures.